The oceans of Pandora belong to those who respect them, and no one shows more respect than Ronal, Sahik of the Metkayina. Before Avatar Fire and Ash, you need to understand the warrior shaman who refused to let pregnancy stop her from charging into battle. Origins and nature. The fiercely independent Sahik. Ronal is the spiritual leader, or Sahik, of the Metkayina clan. The position is a combination of high priestess, healer, and keeper of cultural memory. While Tonowari handles governance as Olo'eyktan, Ronal guides the clan spiritually, leading sacred ceremonies, interpreting Awa's will, and preserving their ancestral knowledge. Played by Kate Winslet, Ronal represents something rarely depicted in film, a pregnant warrior who refuses to be sidelined. Winslet performed her underwater scenes after training in freediving, matching Cameron's vision of Ronal as resilient, capable, and bionic in her determination. Her tattoos, shell headpiece, and woven song cord all reflect her authority, marking key spiritual events in her life. Everything about her design emphasizes that she carries the legacy and responsibility of her people on her shoulders. Fiercely independent and guided by tradition, Ronal is skeptical of outsiders and protective to the point of aggression. Her instincts are sharp, her judgment swift, and her commitment to her people unshakable. She is the living embodiment of Metkayina tradition and the spiritual heart of the Reef. Avatar, the Way of Water, from suspicion to solidarity. When Jake Sully's family arrives in Awa'atlu seeking Uturu, Ronal responds with immediate hostility. She circles the newcomers, studying their differences, openly criticizing their forest physiology as unsuitable for life on the ocean. Her disdain only grows when she sees Jake's children have 5 fingers, the unmistakable sign of human DNA. Holding their hands up to the crowd, she calls them demon blood. This escalates to near violence when Neytiri defends her children, and the two mothers nearly clash before Tonowari intervenes. Ronal's aggression isn't cruelty, though. It's devotion. Her duty is to protect the reef. She knows the Sky People have done huge damage to the forest clans, and she refuses to let that devastation follow the Sullys to her home. After a debate with her husband, she defers to Tonowari's decision to grant the family sanctuary, but makes one thing clear. If they stay, they must learn the way of water and prove they will not endanger the clan. She softens only slightly as she helps train the Sullys. She guides Neytiri in breathing techniques and instructs Took in reef-gathering traditions. Though strict, she is not unjust. Her sternness is rooted in care. Her perspective shifts dramatically when she witnesses Kiri underwater. Kiri's extraordinary connection to Awa, her ability to enter trance-like states and influence sea life, captures Ronal's attention. She recognizes something sacred in the girl, something beyond normal Na'vi abilities, definitely something to look out for in Fire and Ash. Remember, if you're enjoying this video, subscribe to the channel for more character deep dives. Ronal's role as Sahik becomes critical when Kiri suffers a violent seizure after connecting to the spirit tree. Human medics rush in with their equipment, but Neytiri dismisses them brutally. She wants the Sahik to care for her daughter.
Ouch! You have done nothing!
Ronal relies instead on traditional herbs and chants, applying ancient healing methods that succeed where human machines fail. Ronal restores Kiri to health, highlighting her standing as a true spiritual authority and reaffirming the value of Na'vi knowledge. However, everything changes when the RDA whalers begin slaughtering Tulkun. Each Metkayina shares a spiritual bond with a Tulkun. Ronal's spirit sister is Roa, a Tulkun matriarch. When Ronal finds Roa and her calf brutally butchered for their Amrita, she unleashes a devastating cry felt across the reef. It's an emotional breaking point that transforms her from a reluctant host to a warrior driven by rage and injustice. The death of Roa catalyzes Ronal's commitment to war, and she now stands ready to fight beside the Sullys against Quaritch and the RDA. They are killers of Tulkun. They must die, she declares. When the Metkayina prepare to strike the sea dragon, Tonowari urges Ronal to stay behind due to her pregnancy. She refuses. For her, fighting is not optional. If she does not defend her people now, there will be no safe future for her unborn child. She charges into battle on her skimwing, wielding a spear with deadly skill. Even in late pregnancy, she is one of the most fearsome fighters in the clan. During the hostage crisis, when Quaritch takes Soraya and others captive, Ronal vents her deepest fear and anger towards Jake. "This is because of you." But the accusation doesn't alter her resolve. Survival, not blame, is the only priority. The aftermath of the battle brings devastating loss. Neteyam dies in part because he was helping save Ronal's child. In the funeral that follows, Ronal presides over the ritual with solemn grace, guiding his body back to Awa in the glowing waters of the Cove of the Ancestors. When Tonowari declares to Jake, "You are Metkayina now," Ronal stands in agreement. Her acceptance finalizes the Sully's adoption into the clan, sealing a bond forged through grief, courage, and shared struggle. Ronal's significance, themes, and cultural power. Ronal embodies the worldview of the Metkayina more completely than any other character. Her teal skin, ocean-infused adornments, and reverence for the Tulkun reflect a culture built on balance with the sea. Her spiritual leadership showcases the depth of Metkayina tradition, especially their belief that Tulkun are their equals, not just sea creatures. Her horror at the Tulkun massacre underscores Avatar's ecological themes and director James Cameron's own views. To Ronal, the whaler's actions are sacrilegious. Her partnership with Tonowari shows us the Na'vi ideal of balanced leadership. They govern together, his diplomacy complementing her intuition. Her choice to fight, even pregnant, is a statement about equality in Na'vi society. Unlike many human cultures, the Na'vi place no limits on motherhood's role in leadership or warfare. Ronal's decisions are respected, not questioned. Ronal in Fire and Ash and beyond. With Avatar 3 introducing the Manquan, the volcanic ash people led by Varang, Ronal will face her most complex challenge. Unlike the Omaticaya or Metkayina, the ash people may reject Awa entirely. If they align with the RDA, Ronal will confront Na'vi enemies for the first time. It seems likely that Ronal will also give birth to her third child in the upcoming film. Her newborn will raise the stakes of every decision she makes, requiring her to become an even more formidable protector. What else is there to look out for? Kiri's growing spiritual power will draw Ronal into a mentorship role. The first trailer shows Ronal almost begging Kiri to use her immense power, presumably because someone close to her is in trouble. Ronal already recognizes that Kiri's connection to Awa is unique. We know this from the second movie. So as Kiri's abilities evolve, she will need guidance from someone who understands the power and responsibility of spiritual leadership. Also, it looks like romance will continue to bloom between her daughter Tireya and Lo'ak. This will no doubt bring more involvement from Ronal, perhaps some more funny discussions between her and Tonowari. Will Lo'ak lead Tireya astray? Probably. Will Tireya lead Lo'ak astray? Unlikely. One thing that is likely is more Tulkun action, so expect Ronal to come into play there. And finally, the trailer gives a look at Ronal in warrior mode once again. She is puncturing holes in a RDA submersible with her spear. This is a side of her we love to see. Kate Winslet didn't get enough to do in the second film, especially given she trained to hold her breath for as much as 7 minutes. And also because she is Kate Winslet. Are you excited to see how Ronal's journey unfolds in Fire and Ash? Let me know what you're most looking forward to in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into Avatar lore, characters, and theories, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. The oceans of Pandora still have many secrets left to explore.